study. I challenge members of this audience. Because you happen to be a citizen of this country, can you just get into the Supreme Court and say that I will practice in the Supreme Court without having the necessary qualification? Without following the necessary rules? Because then your argument is going to be, no, but when the Supreme Court comes out with rules, these rules are meant for everyone, there are not separate rules. Fantastic. Then why don't you recognize the fact that when it comes to the Hindu faith, it believes in diversity of spaces. There are specific spaces which are dedicated to a specific form of energy, and there are specific spaces which are open to everyone. If this particular faith's diversity is finished through the weaponized form of equality, which is nothing but standardization, I'm sorry to say it will result in unwarranted Abrahamization of the Hindu faith, and it will lose its originality, which I think is against the concept of Article 25 and 26. I'll just make one final point. You know, it's always possible to muddle the entire argument and muddle the entire issue by comparing it with something very, very bad or terrible. Nobody has been able to ask, or let's say answer the specific question. When you say that this temple does not allow women, and it has a problem with women, it is based on misogyny, it's based on patriarchy, I want to ask each of these people, what do you know about the temple before you've made that comment? What have you read before you've made that comment? Are you saying that you know better than centuries of people who have actually worshipped at the temple and who have practiced that particular faith? Unless and until you have a specific position, kindly don't make yourself the representative of the entire female community. You're not. Second, you can't speak on behalf of believers, you can't speak on behalf of the deity, you can't speak on behalf of the temple. To put it in the language of Game of Thrones, you know nothing, Jon Snow.
Move, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way. Move, bitch, get out the way.
मेरा बस एक ही क्वेश्चन है कि हम बात कर रहे हैं कि पीरियड्स में लड़कियों को अलाउ नहीं करते, दे डोंट अलाउ टू एंटर इन अ टेम्पल. कैन यू सी योर वेन सर? इस वेन में वही गंदा खून है, क्योंकि मेरी माँ को अगर पीरियड्स नहीं होते तो शायद मेरा जन्म नहीं होता सर. आप सर लेट मी कंप्लीट. अभी साईं दीपक सर ने, आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट एनीथिंग, आई एम अ ब्राह्मण गर्ल, आई रिस्पेक्ट हिंदुइज्म, आई रिस्पेक्ट एवरीबॉडी. मेरा सिर्फ एक ही कहना है.
क्वेश्चन मैम प्लीज रिप्लाई.
नो सर, बिकॉज साईं सर सेड कि आप कैसे पॉइंट आउट कर सकते हैं, आप उस टेम्पल के बारे में कुछ नहीं जानते. सर पहले द्रौपदी को वन साड़ी में रखा गया था बिकॉज पीरियड्स पैड्स वर नॉट देयर सर. नाउ वी एज अ गर्ल आई नो हाउ टू यूज मेंस्ट्रुएशन कप, I know how to use pad, and I am as pure as you are, sir.
Sai Deepak is hard stop, please.
Can I just request the lady to pay attention because I'm responding to your question, right? Okay. One, I don't see why you had to flaunt your Brahminical credentials, because as long as you're a Hindu, there ends the matter. Okay? No, let me respond. You're saying that you're aware of the traditions because you're a Brahmin. Trust me when I say this, but most non-Brahmins know traditions better than Brahmins today. Okay? Okay, second. And I say this as a Tambra myself, okay? 3, you started the entire premise and your argument is based on the assumption that the temple has a fundamental problem with menstruation, that it treats it as impurity, something which defiles the temple. I am asking you again and again and again in a loop like a stuck gramophone, what is the basis of this assumption? Where are you drawing this assumption from? How are you informed? What is your source? What is your authority? What is the factual basis? Please don't cite news reports. Have you done any reading on your own to come out with this conclusion? If the answer is a no, then you're relying on what we call secondary propositions, which is word of mouth. Okay? Now, if the temple is dedicated to a brahmachari, I'm asking myself this simple question. What do you make of the concept of brahmachari other than celibacy? Bachelorhood is not brahmacharya. Okay?
Y'all think y'all should wear purses, and y'all think that we behind, but we really be lurking. Gang, pull up, blow 'em. I bet 2-1 miss 30-30.
Whenever I'm angry, my mother tongue will immediately come to my tongue. Or the language that I use more often, which is Delhi's lingo, will immediately come. Right? What does it tell you? That notwithstanding all the external stimulus that is put on human behavior, nature is nature. Training is training. Genetics is genetics to a significant extent. Conditioning and surroundings also have an impact on genetics, but it will automatically come to you, which means policies which are completely at loggerheads with the native pulse of this land will never find acceptance and they will never be implemented. Let me give you a simple example. The state's role in alcohol production is a relatively new phenomenon because traditionally almost every Indian home used to brew its own alcohol without any state interference. Ganja today has acquired a negative status. Just try and read the Indian Drug Hemp Commission report of 1893-1894 written by the British. They wanted to ask themselves, can we bring in a law to stop the consumption of this because it is an intoxicant? They arrived at the conclusion that this is so native to this country, it is so ingrained in its cultural practices, and it is nowhere comparable to alcohol or anything else, that let's not interfere with it. That was the Britishers' decision with respect to ganja. When was it banned in India for the first time? 1985, because of a global movement. And the global movement has come a full circle, where close to 36 states in America have legalized ganja. And now we are wondering, oh, master ने अब तो उल्टा कर दिया, मैं क्या करूं? उसने तो पलटी मार दी.